Hello, my name is Masha, and today I want to teach you how to make this alternating polka dot chevron bracelet. This video is sponsored by Skillshare. More about them at the end of the video. So as you can see, I started my bracelet off with a teardrop loop. I have a separate tutorial for how to make a teardrop loop. The video for that will be linked in the card and in the description. All you need to know from this video is the order of the strings, and the order on both sides is outline string, first color, outline string, second color, outline string, third color. And the strings are symmetrical. So in this pattern there are 4 repeating rows, but in reality it's 2 repeating rows, just first on one side and then flipped on the other side. Let's look at the first 2 rows. We'll start with just a simple chevron. So we take the first strings on the outer edges, and on the left you make forward knots along all of these strings into the center. On the right you make backward knots along all of these strings into the center, and then once those strings meet you do a knot between them, and that is a chevron row. There we go, the first row is done, and the second row, we start doing a chevron from the right side. So we take the outermost string and go to the left in backward knots. But then on the left side, instead of doing a chevron, we alternate backward and forward knots with the outline color strings and this color string, starting with a backward knot with this outline string onto the color string. So first we make a backward knot onto the color string, then the color string makes a forward knot. Then we encounter the second outline string, that one makes a backward knot, then the color string makes a forward knot, and then we encounter the last outline string here, that one makes a backward knot, and by that point the color string is in the center where it meets this one, which will do half of a chevron, and they make a knot between them. And that's it for this side. Repeat these 2 steps 2 more times, and after that we're going to flip it. Alright, so now that we've repeated that step 2 more times, we can switch to the other 2 repeating rows, which start the exact same way with a simple chevron. Let's do that step first. So the first row is exactly the same, and the second row is exactly the same, but mirrored. So we're going to start making a chevron, but this time from the left side. And then on the right side, we're going to do the alternating dots, starting with a forward knot with the outline string onto the color string, then a backward knot with the color string, forward knot onto the color string, backward knot with the color string, another forward knot onto the color string, and so on. Let's do that. And there you go, the second pair of rows is now complete. Now do this pair 2 more times, 3 in total. And there you go, we finished this step as well. To finish the bracelet, repeat the first 2 rows 3 times, then the second 2 rows 3 times, on and on until the bracelet reaches the length that you want. I'm gonna go finish this bracelet off camera and I'll catch you when I'm done. And here we go, this is what the finished bracelet looks like. I did change the colors of the bracelet. Turns out I didn't really love the colors that I chose for the actual tutorial, and I chose some different ones to actually make the bracelet with, and I think that this turned out much better and I love it a lot. So that's a super fun and simple bracelet to make. I would love to see your creations. If you make anything from this tutorial, definitely tag me on Instagram. And now that you've learned how to make a new bracelet, let's talk some more about learning with the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community for creators like you and me. Skillshare can help make 2022 a year of new learning, growth, and connection through creativity. Have a specific skill you're trying to learn? Skillshare is the perfect place to start. From classes on crafts like cross-stitch and embroidery to freelance classes about building Etsy shops, you can find classes that will match your goals and interests. I am currently looking to level up my graphic design skills, so I'm exploring a class by Sophia Yeshi called Create Graphic Design, Create Emotional Gripping Typographic Art. And I have already learned so much about design principles, choosing fonts and references, and I have even created my first design. Skillshare is completely ad-free and has new premium classes launched every week, so there's always something new to discover. The entire catalogue is also now available with subtitles in Spanish, French, Portuguese, and German. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get 1 month free trial of Skillshare so you can start exploring your creativity today. Thank you Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. And there we have it. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you've got any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll try to answer as many as I can. I want to give a special shout out to my patrons and my top supporters especially. Thank you so much for your support. I truly appreciate it. If you also want to support the work that I do on this channel, the link to my Patreon is in the description. But in any case, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!